Hi Virgo, I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot message. These are general self-love messages. If it doesn't resonate with you this week, come back next week. Maybe I can help you then. These are self-love messages designed for whoever's watching now, for Spirit to showcase areas where you might be, letting yourself down a little bit, either subconsciously or consciously, or areas that we can showcase to be more authentic with ourselves. Yeah, self-love is about self-acceptance, but it's hard to accept parts of yourself that you haven't yet acknowledged. So I shuffled so many times before this. I'm just going to shuffle once now. All right. I'm going to get started. In the first position is going to be how you feel about yourself right now. In the second position is going to be something that Spirit wants you to prioritize. Maybe your needs, maybe an area of focus, whatever it is. In this third position is going to be an area where we might knowingly or unknowingly be dropping the ball for ourselves. Maybe this could be something that we needed to take care of and we just put it off on the back burner. So Spirit is saying now is the time to bring it forward and make it a priority. In the fourth position is something that Spirit wants us to acknowledge and showcase to be more authentic with ourselves. In the fifth position, this is something Spirit wants us to release or let go of. In the sixth position, it's going to be something Spirit wants you to acknowledge. You might know about it, but Spirit wants you to pay more attention to it. And then the seventh message is going to be, like I said, the message from Spirit. Okay, Virgo, let's get started for real. Nice. In the first position, how you feel right now, Spirit says you are successful. Ooh. And this is Six of Pentacles here. So this is monetary success. That must be so nice, Virgo. Oh my God. I hope you're not working yourself to death and that you actually have time to spend that money. I need a laugh track. Oh, this is good. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, you know what? We're not doing that. We talked about this last time. No, this is good. Okay. No, we're not going to do that. I'm so proud of you. Okay. In the second position, something that Spirit wants you to prioritize is this Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant deals with tradition, established tradition, the way that we do things. In this reading, it would be the way that we develop daily habits. Well, while we're at it, since you dragged me into it, self-love is about redirecting those habits that we have, that we've built up over time, that we do daily, that give away little bits of ourselves, little bits of our energy, little bits of our time, and redirecting those so that we can also get back, giving and receiving self-love. And the Hierophant is all about the things that we do daily. So Spirit says it wants you to prioritize some kind of habits that you have. We talked about this last time, and I'm not bringing up what last reading was. I'm just saying, reminiscent of the last time I saw this card, Virgo, that this Hierophant reminds me of you. Seriously, the Hermit. In the other card, the Hierophant, in the traditional tarot, you have the Hierophant, and then there's the church around him, right? But this guy is just out in the woods. He's by himself with his little, cow, and he's meditating. This reminds me very much of Hermit energy, Virgo energy, which is you. Spirit wants you to take time out, I think, by yourself to really prioritize and think about your daily habits. What are you up to, Virgo? What are you doing? You have all this money now, but are you working yourself so hard that you don't have time to spend it? That would be a poor daily habit to have. Or maybe you're pushing yourself really hard in a direction that's not for you. And Spirit wants you to think about that. Because in the area that Spirit wants you to prioritize, or where we may or may not consciously be letting ourselves down, and we need to put more effort into it, is this Seven of Swords. It says futility. In the traditional deck, it's betrayal. someone has hurt you, or someone is taking something from you, or you're taking something from somebody else. But this isn't that. This is futility in a situation, Virgo. It could be futility in a daily habit. What is the definition of insanity? I know you know. I know you know because you're a Virgo. The definition of insanity is doing something over and over again, expecting different results. Exactly. Are you feeling insane? I hope you don't feel insane. I know that like everyone looks at Virgos and thinks, oh, they're so perfect and beautiful and they have their whole life together. But Virgos are humans too. Sorry. You get to be mortal like the rest of us and have foibles. Sorry. Sometimes we build habits up and they're not helpful habits. We all do it. That's the point of these messages. That's the point of self-love. Is redirecting those habits or retraining yourself to also receive. In the 4th position, Virgo, we have, oh, yes. Spirit wants you to be more authentic with yourself. Be more authentic with yourself by being happy sometimes. I'm sorry. I didn't even do it. I didn't even say it. I didn't have to because the card came out. Do you have daily habits that you've built up that are futile? And Spirit's like, hey, stop making your life hard for no reason and just go be happy. I don't even need to clarify these things. Okay. This makes sense. In the position where what Spirit wants you to let go of, the 5th position, is this King of Wands energy. Now, while a king, he still brings a lot of fiery, passionate energy. And those are all positive traits. Everyone loves fire and passion. Oof. But fire and passion also have negative qualities. Fire can burn. And passion can leave people resentful. It can also be impulsive and reactive. Yeah. Spirit says you need to let go of this impassioned, reactive energy. It's not serving you. It could be one of these habits that is futile. Futile, passionate energy. Fighting. That's what comes to my mind. Like a habit, right? Something that's habitual. Something that happens often. Not like physical fighting, but arguing. I don't think Virgos like confrontation very much, but I also know that a Virgo wouldn't back down from a confrontation that if it came to them. And that in itself is very much reactive. Or I also know that Virgos and Pisces are sister signs. So we're very much intuitive and empathic, right? And a lot of the time what might be happening is that we're reacting to other people's energies. So, you know, maybe you feel like someone is being too silly and you want them to just, you know, straighten up, fly right. Well, we react to that. Yeah. When we're arguing, though, arguments serve a purpose. They do, okay? I went to college. I studied. I have degrees in things. And I know that conflict is what we call pervasive. It never ends. Never. We are always in a state of conflict at like any given time. And a conflict can last from like seconds to years. We can be in conflicts that we don't even know about it. A conflict, my friend, is just merely an incompatibility of goals. If I want something and you want something else, we're already in a conflict. They're pervasive. They are not good nor bad. I would say they're like clouds, right? Clouds aren't good or bad. Clouds can be beautiful, like, oh, just like some wispy ones, or those, I studied communication, I didn't study clouds, but like the ones that go, blah, 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 you know, they're really cute. And then sometimes I see some and they're like, they almost look like a rainbow in the cloud, and that's really cool too. But then, you know, a lot of the time they are like storm clouds. They could bring rain, and that could ruin your day. It could bring like thunder and lightning, snow, all kinds of things. So clouds in themselves are not bad. They're just like a tool for the environment. And conflicts are just like tools for our environment. If you're running into conflicts all the time, that should be a cue to you to like step back. You might be pushing yourself in the wrong direction. If you're running into conflicts continuously, that might be a sign to you to be like, maybe this is not the environment for me. Maybe who I am is not conducive to that environment. Maybe that environment is not conducive to me. Thank you. Yes, I need to edit that part out because that first part was totally wrong. The environment is not conducive to you. It's just like trying on a pair of jeans, Virgo. When you go in to try on a pair of jeans and it doesn't fit you, them's are some poor fucking jeans. Like, you poor thing, you don't even get to fit on my body, right? It should feel bad for itself. You shouldn't feel bad, honey. No. There are thousands of stores everywhere. There are thousands of different designers. Designers make jeans to, you know, look like whatever. They're not made to look like you because you are unique. Yeah. Don't feel bad about trying on a pair of jeans that don't fit. Don't feel bad about being in an environment that doesn't fit you. It just means it's not your environment. If you had a parrot, you couldn't put a parrot in like a tarantula's cage, right? Like in a terrarium. That's not their environment. Why are we talking about this? I don't even know where we are anymore, Virgo, but this reactive energy, oh, that's what we're talking about. Arguments, conflict. Okay. So sorry. Parrots and tarantulas. Conflict is pervasive. It will happen all the time. But again, if you're in an environment where it's constant, it's probably not the environment for you. Find a different environment. If you're in an environment where conflicts come up with regularity, that's just that environment trying to find a way to balance itself out, right? Because you are introduced to the environment, you bring your own frequency, and the environment you guys have to, right? That's how you got to do it. And conflict can help that. Conflict is a tool. Let's say something that's not like really bad. Okay, let's say that your partner, who you're with, is a deep sleeper, and they add like 10 alarms to their phone, and you are not a deep sleeper. That is a conflict. I will not be getting up 10 times because you cannot open your alarm, okay? That's a conflict. And that's not like a big deal. You just tell them, you know, nicely, like, I can wake you up when it's time to wake up. But if you keep these alarms going, I'll wake you up. And then you have your little conflict and they fix the problem and then you move on and your relationship is good and stable. Conflicts can be good. Say there's a conflict at work. Say your boss wants you to do something that's not necessarily in your job description, okay? This is a conflict. You signed up for this and they're asking you to do this. Incompatibility of goals, right? You can solve the conflict by saying, yeah, no problem. You should not solve the conflict by saying, yeah, no problem. You should solve the conflict by saying, I can address this issue in the future. If we would like this to add this to my job description, then we can talk about that and how like that would roll out, you know, like benefits and financially. But if not, then I would not like to add this, you know, like you should stand up for yourself in those kinds of situations. Conflict can help you and your environment balance out. If there are too many conflicts, it's because it's not your environment, okay? But we have this King of Wands, which is why I brought this up. The universe wants you to let go of this reactive energy. Futile habits around reactive energy indicate to me that there are many conflicts in your environment. It could be all coming from one source, it could be coming from multiple sources. what I'm getting from this sense is that this is not the environment for you. If you're going to stay in this environment, something needs to change. You can let go of this reactive energy, which you should do for yourself anyway. But that's going to be the only way that it's going to work out for you. Because if you continue on with these habits of being reactive, you're giving more of your energy away and you are not getting anything back from that. That's not self-love. That's not love in any kind of sense. That's not good. In this position of what the universe wants you to know, acknowledge, is the Six of Cups. Traditionally, the Six of Cups is giving and receiving. At least you have money, Virgo. At least you're successful. Okay? Look. Pleasure. There's pleasure in your environment. There is something good. Focus on that. Focus on that sense. I don't know what it is. It could be the money, but you're probably working too hard to spend it there. Online shopping gives you the same rush, okay? It's not like when I spend like 4 hours at the mall and I've touched everything all day long, but like when my cart is like at $83 and I get free shipping rush, okay? Like, whew, like it's good. It's still good, okay? I did not see that coming. Virgo, what the universe needs you to pay attention to in your spirit message position. It's this 10 of Swords. It says ruin. Yeah. I think Spirit is saying that like this stuff needs to change. These habits and this reactiveness and this not focusing on happiness or pleasure, if it doesn't change, it will lead to ruin. We're gonna clarify. Joy. I'm sorry to sound so dour. It's just that I know that I just know that Virgos are a sign of service, and they will put themselves through the ringer to be of service. And these readings lately have been indicating to me that there are a lot of Virgos out there that are subjecting themselves to things they don't want to do, or putting themselves in positions where they're really uncomfortable. And I'm not sure why. I mean, all of you would have your own reasoning, your own rationale behind things. My stomach is very upset. I'm sorry. But I don't know what your reasoning is. If you want to drop a comment in the box below, like if you are doing those things, you know, is it just trying to be supportive? Is it being helpful? You know, trauma responses, are we people pleasing and we just need to work on that a little bit? Are we punishing ourselves? What is it? You know, these are a lot of like negative behaviors, and I see that. Don't worry, I see that all day long. I don't know if you know, there's other 12 other zodiac signs. I see negative patterns all the time. These are just concerning because of the service aspect, you know. They say, I think the saying is like, don't put the horse before the cart, right? So it's like, don't put the cart before the horse. Something like that. It's a really old-timey saying, but it's basically like, you know, if it's like, don't kill yourself to get the work done. Like, that's all. That's Virgo self-love. I'm writing that down. Don't kill yourself to get it done. Yeah. I'm writing that down right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and clarify. Because the tarot spread is about redirecting these habits, not about the habits themselves. I think people sometimes realize that, you know, we have all these bad habits and then they get stuck in this, like, shame spiral of bad habits. Well, I'm already terrible. I'm already just terrible. Might as well just keep doing terrible, destructive things. It'll get better eventually. It literally will not. It won't. You will just be stuck in that spiral forever until you decide to take control of your life and change your habits and start working your way back up. You can do it. I know you can. You're like the workhorse. Oh, it must be really hard. Like, I'm a Pisces, and like I have all these feelings and stuff, but I'm ruled by my emotions. If I don't want to do something, it's so simple for me to say, no, I don't want to do it. But then it's extremely hard for me to find motivation to do things. So it's like, you know, the two-sided sword, double-sided sword, or whatever. But for Virgos, I think it must be like really hard to be a Virgo, honestly. Like, you want to do everything. You are better at doing it than most people. And you don't even have to listen to your emotions. You don't even have to say, I'm dying, I don't like it, I'm gonna quit. You're just like, no, just keep going, you know? I think that's like an admirable quality, but I also think at the same time it's obviously not a self-love quality or we wouldn't be here. So, okay. Well, the universe says in the beginning, okay, of the spread, that you're feeling this sense of success. It shows me like actual pentacles, and most of the cards in this deck don't do that. So I think that right now you are in a period where you have monetary success. You've gained some kind of, you know, status or like ability. Like maybe you have the ability to purchase something you didn't have before, or maybe before you've gotten a raise or promotion or something, you're just in a higher status. And then along comes success, because it's a 6. So let's see. Omens. Ooh. Ooh. Imagine that, Virgo. If this money that you're coming into, imagine like if this success is pouring down on you was an omen for good luck, that things are gonna get better. Psychic developments. Alright. Yes. Okay. And look at the sun there. Ooh, look at that energy, Virgo, coming through. Okay. I love that. And I love the psychic developments because I always think of this as like more direct line to your intuition. Honestly, listening to yourself more really helps you listen better. Does that make sense? The only thing I can think of to explain this really quickly is one time I was in China. I speak English. In China, where most people speak Mandarin or Shanghainese or Cantonese, right? Or other dialects. And every once in a while, you would hear someone say something in English, and your ears perk up. You're just like, oh, I got that. Because it's something that you're used to hearing, or something you're used to noticing. But then, like, you don't notice it as often. So when you do, you're like, oh. I got too excited to choke on my spit. I'm sorry. That's me in a nutshell. That's like my whole life. I just got too excited and almost killed myself. Okay, so you hear that and your ears perk up and you're like, oh, I know that. Okay, so when you start listening to your intuition, it's like that. And you get like a sixth sense for it. And so you're like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I know that. All of a sudden. And then it becomes easier and easier to listen to yourself. So maybe through the success is an omen of the good to come. And like because of that, it's building your confidence. And your confidence to listen to yourself. And because of that, you're developing your psychic abilities to be more intuitive. I love that. That would be great. You're really intuitive. I hope this is like a self-intuitiveness. Okay. So universe wants you to prioritize this Hierophant. We said it was his daily practices. And the daily practices could be futile. Like whatever it is that you're doing, the direction that you're trying to go, or as you progress, these habits you built, they're not working out. And Spirit wants you to know that you're going to have to let something go. You're going to have to let something go. Something just isn't fitting, or it's not working anymore. There you go, babe. If you've come to this new place, like this, if you've gained this material success, if you've gained this promotion, if you've gained this stability, like this next level, right? Then it could make total sense. You're going to have to let go of something. That something in your environment doesn't match your frequency now. There you go. Or, more better, if you want to level up, if you want to get to that next step, you're gonna have to let go of whatever's in your environment that's holding you back. Hells to the yeah, hells to the yeah. Okay, look at this. It says honoring your energy, Virgo, and it's over the Hierophant, which I did say was indicative to me of Hermit energy, honoring your energy. These habits that you've developed, it could be possible that you're not aware of them. You are aware of this futility, I think. Well, your head is down in this. You look real dejected. But I think with the Hierophant, like in this meditation and with this success, I think you know that these habits are futile. But maybe you don't realize how many of them there are. Or maybe you don't realize the pattern or how it works. And like this Hermit Hierophant energy is really about like actually taking a step back. Maybe even taking some time to yourself because he's alone meditating. To like look at your habits. What are you doing? That it's like giving away, well, it doesn't say in here that you're giving away your energy. I just kind of, with the reactiveness, kind of, what are you doing? That's like creating, what habits are you creating? That's what I mean. Just like look at your habits. If your boss asks you to stay late on the weekend and you say yes, are you creating bad habits? If you're eating dinner with your family and your sister asks, can I take a bite of your food? And you say yes. Are you building bad habits? Will she expect that from you every time? If you get lazy taking your dog outside to go potty, every day, you gotta take them out every day. If you get lazy and you forget sometimes, are you building bad habits? Well, do they then think that it's okay for them to go inside? So just like anything, really, any of these bad habits that you're building are going to be futile in the long run. They're not going to work out the way that you, or the situation won't work out the way you want it to. So view it like this, right? So we're on these plateaus. Like say you're down here and you're trying to get up here. The habits that you built here, they probably got you through this. They probably really did. But now you're here and that's completely different habits. So it's not like you're doing the wrong thing. You might be forcing yourself to go in the wrong direction. But right now, these habits, they're just not as helpful as they used to be. So we just got to get rid of them. That's okay. Everyone can work on growing. Everyone can work on elevating. Yeah, okay. So honoring your energy, that's very reminiscent to me of the Hermit because it was over the Hierophant. But then look at this. Sacred space. Okay. So sacred space to me is a space that's all yours, where you can go and have time to yourself. Like a hermit. Like a cave. You need a cave to go into and just hang out by yourself, meditate and think about the futility of your actions. It's going to be a slow and steady thing. This isn't going to happen overnight. That's fair. That's really fair. I know that I sit here and I talk about it like Virgo. Fix your habits. Our habits are actually fairly simple to fix. It's the behaviors behind the habits that tend to be a bigger problem. Because you're of service. And I know, and I love that about you. What is not to love about a Virgo? I just don't know. I'm sorry. I just love them. Okay. But like, I sit here and I talk about like, oh, just change your habits. Your habits are easy to change. They are. But your habits stem from beliefs, and that's where things tend to get tricky. If you believe that for whatever reason, whatever it is, whatever drives you, whatever motivates your pretty, beautiful little Virgo brain, whatever motivates you, if you believe for whatever reason that you are obligated, that you have some reason you absolutely have to do something, where does that belief come from? You absolutely have to do it. I was taught in college there are no absolutes, and that you should be really careful about black and white thinking like that. I think that a lot of the time, as a Pisces, I go where I feel like I'm needed. But I'm really in touch with my emotions. So when I feel like I'm needed, I'm able to discern if the needing is toxic or not. People will need you, Virgo. People will need you so badly. Partners will need you because you bring that sense of stability, healing, and nurturing to their lives. But are they really bringing stability, healing, and nurturing to you? Work is always going to need you. Any job anywhere would be lucky to have a Virgo because they're studious, they keep to themselves, and they get the job done. And they will really honestly kill themselves doing it. But is your job going to take care of you in the same way you give to them? Where does this belief in your brain come from that you have to give more than you get? That's the habit. Yeah, that's the problem, is that I can tell you, okay, so let's say that you've built up college student, right? Let's say, last 4 years you've been in college and you have had a Frank's hot dog every single day for lunch from the little guy who's at the stand. You know, he's at the stall, he's right there. You walk out of mass lecture, you grab your hot dog and you're on your way every day for 4 years. All right, now you've graduated and I tell you, well, you can't really eat hot dogs every day. You have to have a balanced diet. It's going to be hard to change the habit, but it's totally changeable. Now, if you told me that you bought the hot dog from Frank because Frank is a local vendor and he's a locally owned businessman, well, then I would tell you, okay, well, it's totally fine to continue that habit of serving, you know, local business people, helping local business establishments. That's totally fine. But I guarantee that you wouldn't stay stuck on the hot dog thing, right? Because it's about what motivates us. It's not about the hot dog. The hot dog was about convenience. But when it turns into this motivation about local business and stuff like that, then that's a belief, right? So the hot dog was a habit for convenience, but then it turns into a habit of belief. And that becomes when it's harder to change. I wouldn't want you to change beliefs about supporting local business, because we all should do that, especially during the pandemic, when local business, or when big corporate businesses are shutting down locations and firing people just to have bigger dividends at the end of the year. Pathetic. Ugh. What are we talking about? Hot dogs. Oh, beliefs, right. Okay, so in changing the habit, this Hierophant, it's fine to change the habit, but you have to change the belief that goes along with the habit, or the habit's just going to come back up in different iterations, different iterations. So you say yes to your boss to work on the weekends, but that comes from a sense of like being afraid to lose your job. Okay, so even in a different job, you're still going to have that belief that you have to work harder, you're going to lose your job. Trust me, I've seen people not work at all and still keep their jobs. I don't know how, I don't know why, I would not want to be one of those people, but Virgo, you're fine. Okay, it's just that belief. I have to change the name of the video. Dang. Okay, so let's move away from the belief that we don't deserve, or that we have to, or we're not enough, or whatever. And let's focus on being happy, okay? Because I know that Virgos are really hardworking, but I also know that Virgos are really attractive and really smart and really funny people. I've never met a Virgo who was not attractive, smart, and hardworking. Never. Oh, also funny. Attractive, smart, and funny. Never. Not in my life. And so I know that you have it in you to be happy, to pursue this happiness. I'm on the pursuit of happiness, and I know. Okay? Spirit wants you to prioritize this. This is in the position of being more authentic with yourself. Okay? Be more authentic with yourself by pursuing your happiness. What makes you happy? You can be happy. I don't know if anybody told you that. Like, you can totally be happy, and you can actually have, like, build happiness patterns or, like, happiness habits. I do it for myself every time I leave my house, every time, because I did such a good job and because I went out into public and I was around people. I give myself a iced coffee. That's a happiness habit. That reinforces my willingness to leave my house. Like, it works for me. Let's see about that. The masculine energy. You see this? Did you see this? Do you know what this card is about? It's about going after what you want. I can't make this up. I don't do anything. I just sit here. I just read the cards. That's all I do. I don't know what you want from me. Okay, we said about this King of Wands. We said that it was the reactive energy you had to let go of, okay? That's going to happen in divine timing. Divine timing. There's going to be something that occurs. It doesn't say a tower here. I feel like the whole Virgo's life, your whole life is just a tower. It's fine. You're fine. I feel like this reactiveness, you're going to reach this point where maybe mid-argument, honestly, you're just like, and you realize That person is not on your frequency. That person cannot hear you. That person is in a different space altogether. I feel like this constantly as a Pisces, constantly. I say stuff to people and they're just like, and I feel like I'm, because they're not on my frequency. They can't meet me where I am because they've not been to the places I've been to. That's not your fault, Virgo. It's not their fault. It's not my fault. It's not their fault. We're just on different frequencies. In 5 or 6 years, when these people have been through different things, it's entirely possible that we can then converse and understand each other. So in divine timing, you're going to see that. You're going to realize that there's futility in your actions. Feminine energy. When you realize that, that's when you're going to do this. That's when this is all going to come through. When you realize the futility in your actions, you're going to realize that this is coming from a different place, a place you don't mean it to come from. And you're going to go, where does it come from then? And you're going to go in and you're going to use that feminine energy and you are going to like study yourself and you're going to like feel the things that you don't really want to feel. Healing's messy. I'm super sorry. My email address is in the box below if you need to talk to somebody, okay? I have an Instagram too. I have an Instagram. Did I ever tell anybody I have an Instagram? I have an Instagram. You can message me. I'm on my phone way more than my email. But that feminine energy is going to come into play here. And the best thing about this reading, Virgo, is this right here. This is somebody who is complete in themselves. This is self-love. Knowing what you want and what you need and getting it. This is that giving and this is that getting back. French toast. French toast. Okay. We said that Spirit wants you to acknowledge pleasure in your life. The pleasure. The fun. It's going to be so pleasurable. Spirit says it's going to be a new beginning. Somebody's going to get a spring. And the truth. I don't think this is truth for other people, or I don't think this is like you coming to some kind of truth. I think this is you being in your own truth. You experiencing this happiness and acknowledging this pleasure in your life. One, pleasure comes from what you like. That means that you're listening to yourself on a more intimate level. You're doing the things you want. That's pleasurable. That's what makes you happy. And two, when you are more happy with yourself, when you're more happy, when you allow yourself to be more happy, when you allow yourself to be part of what you are, you're being more authentic with yourself. You're living in your own truth. It's hot. That's so funny. Okay. And then we sit for this 10 of Swords. Universe is, this is like a cryptic, not even cryptic. This is like, explicit. This is an explicit warning from the universe, though. This is about your habits, how you understand your habits. And I think that you know, I think we all know, that you just need some time away. If you can't get away, ask yourself why. Oh, work is so busy. Work's always going to be there. It's always going to be busy. Well, if I come back, there'll just be more work. Well, that doesn't sound healthy. That sounds like a pile you're never going to get out from under. That looks like a habit that you should explore. My partner would never let me leave the house for days. I have children. You don't have anybody else who could watch your kids for a day? A day? I mean, if you have little kids that can't watch themselves, just take them with you. That's like the same thing anyway. They're basically just you at that point, you know? My nephew's 5. He is literally the spitting image of my sister. They are the same person. Like right now, because he's still just, little and he loves her and he admires like every single thing about her and he just thinks she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Right, so just take him with you. But like if you have bigger kids, they can stay home for a few hours. Take that time to yourself. And if you really believe that you can't, you need to ask yourself why. Okay? When I was a kid, I rode in the car without seatbelts because they didn't know about that at the time. When my mom was a kid, they rode in the front window without seatbelts. Okay, I was not babysat. We babysat ourselves. They'll be fine. Go sit on the porch and tell them they can't come outside. Take some time to yourself. If you really feel like you can't, look at that. That's one of those habits. all day today. Changes, Virgo. There can be changes all around you, but if you don't make those choices for yourself, okay, so just to recap, right now you have a lot of money. Good job. Spirit wants you to invest time and effort into looking at habits that you have possibly created around being reactive that are futile. Like I said, remember those plateaus? It's entirely possible that throughout this entire plateau here, you had to fight. The universe was telling you, stand up, stand up. And now the universe is telling you, don't. Don't stand up. Don't give out that energy anymore. It's a waste. When you get to this next place, which is where the universe is trying to get you, you won't need that. You're gonna need happiness because of all of the pleasure. All right, Virgo, I really hope that helped. Again, if you want to talk, I have an Instagram. I think it's just self-love shaman. I think it's underscores though, so it's like self_love_shaman. Sorry, had to be different. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Have a good day.